besties. I'm Nicole.
And I'm June. Welcome to the Sister Shit Show, the podcast where we talk about literally everything and absolutely nothing at the same time.
Family drama, we've got it. Unsolicited opinions, always. Tangents that go nowhere, that's kind of our thing.
So if you love sister banter, hot takes, laughing through the trauma, and personal stories we probably shouldn't share,
you're in the right place. Buckle up, babes, because we're not filtering shit.
Hey everyone, it's super exciting to be back again. It's been a very, very busy week and a very, very busy day. So behind the scenes, let me just tell you, we don't know what we're doing. We've been having mic issues. We've been having sound issues, I guess, like where we forgot to turn on the mic. So there's like a lot of different things that we're coming across that we're learning. It's a big learning curve, but we're having fun doing it. How's everything going over there?
Same old, same old. Super busy, just trying to live life and work. How are you doing?
Same. I feel like I'm like in this rut of repetitive, like just like work, family, sleep, work, family, sleep, work, family, sleep, and it just gets faster and faster and faster. So like I know like I've been like fighting a cold.
Yeah.
And it's been not like, I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this. You don't have the cold. You are basically healthy, but you're not sick. You're just like in limbo. So you're fatigued and you're just like, okay, I can do this. Like, don't catch it fully. Don't catch it fully. And I'm just like stuck in limbo for weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like this. Now I'm at the point where just give me the damn cold. Just give it to me.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Sorry, our cats are in the background. So if you guys hear noises, it's just our cats.
We're still figuring everything out, how to work with this. So thank you for bearing with us. We're trying really hard, but we're going to figure it out. You know, takes practice. Nothing against animals, but he may get drugged. It's like, oh, here's some cat medicine.
Yeah, some catnip.
Some cat. Oh, I think that make them crazier, doesn't it? Or does it relax them?
I thought it relaxes them, like it makes them like so-called high.
Oh, really?
I'm not a veterinarian. That's one thing I'm not.
Yeah, I have no idea what the side effects of catnip is, but if it is cooling them down and chilling them out, let us know so we can catnip some cats.
Sound like you said cat, like kidnapping cats. Just going around.
Okay, I have to tell you. So I know a person and her family doesn't know she has a cat and she really wants to keep this cat. It's baby orange tabby.
Oh, loved orange tabbies.
Yeah, that's all we have. And she literally is like hiding it in her bedroom. When she goes to work, she says she turns on the TV very low so the cat doesn't like meow or anything. It still stays entertained. And she's just counting down the days to see how long she can keep this cat unknown to her family.
Oh my goodness. How old is she?
How old is the cat? I think 4 or 5 weeks. It's still like a little baby. Like she found it.
Got you.
Yeah, so it's a little baby, and that's why I don't think it's making a lot of noise right now. But yeah, so we were all discussing this about like cats, like hiding a cat because you really want a pet. So you're just trying to keep it away from the other family members so you can keep it. Then I found out another person that I know, she hid a litter of kittens in her closet for 2 weeks without her husband knowing.
That would be me. Actually, no, my husband would be okay with it because he's an animal lover. He'd be like, oh, kitties. Oh. He would be hiding it from me.
Well, he didn't start off as a cat lover. He was a dog lover.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he fell in love with our orange tabs. Yeah. So, but yeah, I just thought that was crazy because it was just like an open conversation. And I found out so many people like hide cats because they love them so much. And I thought that was so cool.
Well, they have like such a bad name and it makes me so sad because like cats are so amazing. They are the best pets. And like, especially when they freaking love you, that love that it's like dogs are always loving. They're so loyal, but cats, like you have to earn that love.
Yes.
And then it's like so conditional. Like my cat follows me everywhere. He loves to snuggle and all that stuff. It's like, you don't get that with a dog. Like they're just, I mean, you can snuggle with a dog. I have had a dog. I miss my dog, but you know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of love.
Because you earned it.
I earned it.
So it's a different feeling because I feel like you said, like dogs are unconditional. Like they're always loving. And I love that about dogs. But cats, like people don't like them because they don't do that.
Yeah.
And you have to earn their love and their trust to do that. So yeah, I just think that's hilarious. I was just like, oh yeah, hiding animals in the closet. you know what else hides?
Oh, what?
Our topic.
Oh, it does. You're so right.
Yeah. Right? Wasn't that a good segue?
That was a great segue.
Nicole picked out a topic for this week. And it is, what did you pick?
Yeah, today's podcast dives into what might be our favorite subject ever. Okay?
Besides cats.
Besides cats, obviously. Okay, well, actually, I think this is our favorite obsession.
Okay.
Bigfoot or a Yeti? Or honestly, could it just be a hippie who's really committed to the lifestyle?
I think it's the hippie committed to the lifestyle.
Just imagine.
No, honestly, I think half of those, like, I love that you picked this topic because I really do feel like a lot of sightings are just like country folk. Like, it's just like people out there just like chilling.
I know, just messing with other people.
Yeah,
I think that, but then I don't, because I'm such a believer. Like, I want it so bad.
Well, you are a believer. Like, you're not a want, you are.
I am a believer.
You are totally. I'm the want to believe because like I'm very I cannot say that word.
Spectacle.
Yeah, like because like I always like when things happen around me, I'm always like, let me figure out the logic to this. And at the end of the day, there's like this slight hope, like, please be true.
I know, but if I ever saw something, I probably would shit myself.
Beautiful. Please wear a diaper.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it's a great topic, but I always do believe like there's logic behind it, but I can't wait to see what stories you have for us today.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to go into like some history on
catnip.
Yeah,
we're good. We're going to totally need this catnip.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit of history about Bigfoot and Yetis, and then some Reddit stories, and then my personal freaking favorite, Missing 411. I could talk about that for weeks, by David Paulides. And then... Okay, perfect. So before Bigfoot became a blurry photo, a plaster footprint, or a guy in a questionable gorilla suit, he already existed in stories. Long before the internet, cameras, or Reddit. I love Reddit. Long before the name Bigfoot ever showed up, many Native American tribes across North America had stories of large human-like beings living deep in the forest. These weren't treated as monsters or jokes. They were often seen as spiritual beings, protectors, or warnings. And I might butcher these names, so please bear with me. The Squamish, Lumi, and Hokulum tribes of the Pacific Northwest spoke of Sasquatch, which is actually where the modern name comes from. Sasquatch was described as a tall, hairy being that lived in the woods and avoided humans, but could become aggressive if disrespected. Some tribes believed these beings were guardians of nature, punishing people who overhunted or treated the land poorly. Other stories describe them as tricksters, curious, intelligent, and capable of mimicking human sounds or luring people deeper into the forest. What's important here is that in many indigenous stories, these beings weren't cryptids. They were a part of the world just as real as animals, weather, or spirits. The modern Bigfoot craze didn't start until 1958, when massive footprints were found at a construction site in Bluff Creek, California. A newspaper headline used the term Bigfoot, and from there it exploded into American pop culture. And side note, June and I went to Bluff Creek, California, and they have like a tribute.
It was so cool.
It was so stinking cool.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? Oh my God, stop.
There's like, I just love it up there. It was so cool and fascinating. And like, honestly, it's all the merch that I was down for.
I know. I know.
I was like, I want this, I want this, I want this.
I still have my jacket.
Yeah, and we walked like everywhere out there. We did hiking, and it was like a lot of fun.
No, it was the one where we're coming down, and it was like
in the side, and then you
yeah.
had that little trail above the restrooms. And
yeah. That restroom was like so sketchy.
It was. There was a Bigfoot in there.
I know.
Like
I was like, something's gonna touch my butthole.
Well, because like think of it, like Bigfoot is like it says like to protect the nature. I really love that, like how you just said that with the history and how it's to protect you, but also there's like stories of whether Bigfoot is to scare children, and it's like if you're not
don't go in the forest.
It basically
gonna touch you.
It was because it was the wild hairy man, which it like was translated to is that you gotta fear them because they're known to take children. So when we were going to the restroom, I was like, I wasn't a child, I'm like adult, but I'm still like, he's gonna take me.
I'm still a child mentally.
Yeah, mentally. I'm like, but I was like really sketched out for that restroom. I totally forgot until you said it. I was like, oh yeah, I think I tried to hold it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was such a cute little area.
And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So I love that. Keep going. I'm so sorry.
No,
that was a great memory.
Yeah. Now let's head somewhere much colder. Jeez. The Yeti, often called the abominable snowman, I can't say that, comes from the ancient Himalayan folklore, especially among the Sherpa, Tibetan, and Nepalian peoples. So what I'm gathering out is like, because people always put Bigfoot and Yeti together, but they're totally two different cryptids.
Well, yeah, like every continent, every country has
Their own
Bigfoot, Sasquatch,
yeah.
but there's like so many different names. Like in Asia, besides like in the Himalayas and all that, besides the Yeti, there's the Yer and there's the Wowie. Like they're similar but different. So everyone has one around the world.
Yeah, it's insane. So like unlike Bigfoot, the Yeti isn't just like a mysterious creature. It's deeply woven into their spiritual belief system of the Nepalian and all that kind of stuff.
And the Yeti's the white one, right?
Yes.
Because of the snow.
The one that's in Monsters Inc.
Oh,
The yellow snow. Don't eat the yellow snow cone.
You get the yellow snow cone. Okay, yeah, you're right. That is a Yeti. Okay.
So in Tibetan folklore, the Yeti was sometimes seen as a protector of sacred lands. Some stories described it as a wild man, others as a spiritual being that punishes arrogance or disrespect towards the mountains. So what I gather is like Bigfoot, as you said, is for disrespecting, like doing so.
It's protecting the nature, right?
Yes.
Protecting its surroundings and its land, but also eating children.
And eating children.
Or taking children. We don't know if they eat them. Like they
Tough time to be a kid.
Well, maybe they just need like child labor.
Monsteries have claimed to possess Yeti relics, including scalps, like scalping, and bones believed to be carrier of spiritual power. So like they carry around that.
Wait, so the Yetis and all that, they carry scalps?
No, like so the monasteries, so up in like Tibet, they claim to have have Yeti relics, including scalps and bones.
Okay. Because I thought you were like Yetis were walking around with scalps. Okay, they have scalps of Yetis.
Yeah, but what happens if it's just like their mountain goat and they're just saying, I don't know.
Well, no, like
because it's like spiritual. It's like their.
I like how
protector.
you said mountain goat, and I was thinking like an old man who's got like shaved.
He wouldn't have white hair like that.
That's why I said old man. But old people grow hair that's white and silver. Never mind. Okay.
That's like horse. It would be like horse hair, goat fur, and you know what? I haven't even seen the Yeti. I can't even talk. I'm pulling this out of my ass right now. So Western fascism with the Yeti began in the 1920s and the 1950s when mountaineers reported seeing massive footprints in the snow while climbing Mount Everest, which I don't even know. That's a different topic. A mistranslation of a local term led to the sensational name abominable snowman, which locals didn't actually use. To many Himalayan cultures, the Yeti wasn't something to hurt or prove. It was something to respect and avoid. Yeah. So whether it's Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest or Yeti in the Himalayas, one thing is clear. These stories didn't start as jokes. They started as cultural memory, spiritual warnings, and explanations for the unknown. So now that we got the history out of the way, let's line it up.
Woo woo.
Because nothing pairs with better than ancient folklore than modern internet chaos.
I know. Takes you down the rabbit hole, man.
The rabbit hole.
Yeah, there's like so many great stories out there and so many like insights and so many theories and discussions. I love it.
So before we get into the stories, what is your theory on the Bigfoot?
My theory on the Bigfoot, oh gosh, I don't know what my theory is. I do believe there's so much out there we don't know about and we're still discovering. Like, there's a lot of land and a lot of places to hide.
Yeah.
Right? And I do believe to keep cultures and to keep, I guess, I don't know, like just to keep cultures and to keep things safe, I do believe that there's tribes and there's people that are still like exclusive and not in society, and they're like in their own it's not their old ways, it is their ways. And maybe a Bigfoot is one of those, like it's a tribe of people that are just extra hairy. I don't know. I don't know. Or it could actually be like an animal that's upright and we just mistake it for a human, like a wild hairy man. Like, I don't know. Like, there's like so many different theories, but I just think it's crazy with the craze that happened. And it was in the 50s, you said, like when it started, that pop culture of it. Because I mean, like, think about like 20 or so many years later, they made that movie. What was it?
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes, I never knew about Bigfoot until that movie. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I want one. But
I know, it's like my best friend.
Yeah, oh, I can't believe we ate the goldfish. But at the end of the day, like, I just don't know. But I just think the craze of it is like everyone wants it to believe, because if you research it, like you were saying earlier, like almost every continent, every country has one. But I love how North America, like every state has one and it has its own name.
Yeah.
It's like, because everyone wants to believe. Everyone wants to believe in the Sasquatch or the skunk or the Momo or the grassman or the folk monster or my favorite, wood booger. Like, and this is all North America. Yes, that's us in America, the US. But like, I just want to believe that the sightings are true, the experiences are true, but I might be one of those people, I'm not going to believe it until I physically see it and have my own experience.
Yeah. I have two theories. I believe it's either alien.
Okay. That's way out there. Okay.
Yeah, way out there. Okay. Or two, that, because you know how when the continents were all together, it's Pantasia?
Yeah. And then with the shift.
And the shift happened. But the Appalachian Mountains is what's the oldest mountains ever. It's been since the beginning of times. Something evolved and is now in our cave systems are like insane. And so I believe that maybe it's living in the cave system and knows how to get around.
Yeah, they're the masters of hide and seek. Yeah.
But
we're still hiding and we're still
those
seeking.
Theories, or I believe they're here, so.
You believe they're here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know you do. And that's why we're doing your topic. Yeah.
Okay, so on to the first Reddit story.
Okay, all right, you're going?
Yeah, or do you want to go?
No, go for it.
Okay.
I'm having fun.
Okay, so my this one, Born Bluebird 7160 is the name. Okay, my father recounted his encounter to me. He was an honest, good man. His dog was barking one night, and he went out with a flashlight to investigate the reason. Blazer was barking at an apple tree near the stream at the back of his property. Suddenly, something flew out of the tree and knocked Blazer over. The object thrown was an apple. My dad went back into the house and got a shotgun. When he came back out, he saw several large figures moving down the stream away from the house, and they were hooting to each other. Blazer was still barking, but he could hear the hooting as well. He let them go, and he said they looked like large, hairy humanoids. The hooting, I'm like, always gets me, because I'm like, okay, yes.
The hooting freaks me out.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah, because I have some listening or audio of it. Okay, this one's longer. So the audio recording and description of the encounter from 2008. This is by Jay Kellyel. I can't say it. Jaykaayel. And then I have his recording after this. And then I guess if you want to hear the full story, it's on Sasquatch Chronicles. It's episode 940, Unknown Animal on the Pipeline site.
Okay.
Hey, y'all. Just wanted to share this with the...
I'm so sorry. She just got into character. Like, it's not like she was just reading it. She literally was like, take a deep breath. Hey, y'all. Like, that was hilarious.
I gotta represent who this person is correctly.
Okay, I hope you do it right. Okay, no offense to anyone out there when she says this. Go for it. Go.
Hey, y'all. Just wanted to share this with the community to get some feedback. I'm curious to see what people think of this audio. I'll share the story here. In 2018, I got a super easy job as a security guard for the natural gas pipeline construction project in rural Ohio. This was ways outside of Minrivia, home of the locally famous, I cannot pronounce names, guys, so I apologize. Locally famous Minrivia monster story from the 70s or 80s. My job was to just sit at the entrance to this construction site to make sure no one sabotaged or stole construction equipment, which never happened, so I mostly did literally nothing from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. There were 2 houses within a mile of where I was, and most nights their dogs would bark all night in some kind of yelling match with the coyotes. It was just a consistent that you could rely on. Dogs barking, coyotes yipping, and occasionally a cow or 2 mooing. In between, with a never-ending chorus of crickets and frogs in the background. One night in August around 2 a.m., everything went quiet. It was the weirdest, most eerie, abrupt silence. It gave me goosebumps. I genuinely thought there might be an earthquake or something about to happen, and it stayed silent for about an hour, and I was anxious the entire time. Then the roaring started. It started far off to the right side, so far I barely could hear it. I thought it was a person messing with me from the a mile or 2 away. But it got closer, so quickly. You'll hear in the recording, this thing was vocalizing every couple seconds, and at some points, it sounds pretty pissed at something. The sound quickly crossed my field of hearing it in about 5.5 minutes. It went from out of earshot on my right, crossed in front of me, and then was out of earshot on my left. I can't describe how fast this thing had been moving to cover that kind of distance in this short of time. At its closest, the sound reverberating in my chest and literally rattled the windows of my car. I spent so much of my life fishing, hunting, and camping and hiking in Ohio. I know every kind of sound, every kind of animal in Ohio has to offer. The only animal explanation I will accept of this recording is maybe a beagle or some kind of hound baying, but even then I don't believe it. I could just kind of see it. Could it be possibly people have tried to tell me this deer and I laugh at them? Some people think it sounds like a rusty gate or a machinery, but I don't really hear that, and the way it's reverberating, it's not how squeaky rusty sounds carry through the woods. So if you find an episode on Sasquatch Chronicles, you can hear some of the weird things that happened the nights before the recording was taken, which I don't feel like typing up in detail, but in short, we found a muddy handprint on top of the shipping container. And then a whole ass rock was thrown through the side of the shipping container. I do not have pictures of those, however. Please feel free to questions. Okay, you guys want to listen to it?
Before we listen to it, I just love the part where she said muddy hand. When I thought she said money hand, I was like, what type of money are we talking about?
money. I have a lisp, okay? Leave it alone.
All right, so let's hear this recording.
It'd be good if I played it. Wow. I have it on silent. So what do you think?
So it's interesting because at first when they said, he said it could be a dog, those honey dogs, the screeching, I was like, yeah. Okay. I hear, where he can, kind of hear that. Yeah. And then when you said other people are saying it's metal, screeching. So it kind of does sound like the dog and the metal, literally, I hear both of those. I don't hear, it seems kind of consistent at one point. So I'm thinking maybe it's something turning, a metal rivet or something turning and rusty and screeching, but then it changes the rhythm.
Yeah.
And then that's where it throws me off. So I don't know, because when it starts changing the rhythm, I'm like, oh, wait, that pattern is gone. If like it was machinery and now it's something else of its own. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. But like I can hear like why those other people are saying it could be a dog. It could be metal, machinery. But then it does change the pattern.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not an expert.
I'm not an expert either. I don't know.
I don't, like, 'cause I know there's people out there that are experts in this area, but all I hear is like when it comes to the wild hairy man, it's usually a whoop, like it's whoops.
It's like, yeah.
It's not. Yeah, like it's like the encounters that I come across, and everyone always says like, you know, it's always, that's the consistent theme. This one is a little different. I don't hear the aggressive part where he says, unless we cut it short.
We did cut it short.
Oh, okay.
It goes like it starts.
So it picks up.
It picks up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then that's where. So then it's not consistent. So it can't be machinery.
No.
Because there's usually a pattern with that.
Well, I was thinking maybe it's like a beagle in labor, like he was saying.
In labor?
Yeah. Like in pain.
Oh, in pain.
Like, yeah, in labor, like having babies.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe it's the goddamn Sasquatch and he caught it on audio.
Yeah, maybe he's in labor.
Laboring on poop. Okay, go. So, I don't know what it is. It was cool that he shared that, though.
Yeah, very cool. And he captured something unknown that we can all listen to.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, when I was going through my searches for a story, honestly, like, there's so much out there. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there.
I know. People have something to say.
Yeah. And when you talk about what people have to say, like, I am that type of person that will start reading comments. Because I'm like...
Yes, because then they put, like, especially on Reddit, because it's hard to read.
It's open form, yeah. And they, like, everyone shares a story, or like, oh, I heard something similar, or... You know, they go off on that tangent in the comments, and I'm in for the comments. I mean, because I love what people have to say. And I came across this one story. So you know how the first story you talked about where the dad went outside with it and he saw them cross the river?
Yes.
Yeah, so I saw that one, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I started reading the comments, and someone's just like, oh, yeah, like that sounds similar to this story. And I kept reading it and kept diving, and they kept mentioning this, like, Cowman. And I'm like, what is a Cowman? Like, what are they talking about? Because I've heard all these other names of Sasquatch and Bigfoot. Because I've, like, you know, like I was telling you earlier, like from Asia to South America to Europe, like there's so many different names. But Cowman, I learned about all these different names. And I was like, I haven't come across a Cowman. So I started like digging deep on that. And I found the story, and it's actually really popular, of the Cowman and someone's their encounter of the unknown.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to share that story.
Yes.
All right. So this is like a story of a story of a story, like passed down. So it's not the person that I've found it from is not the one who experienced it. But his father told him about this encounter, but it wasn't his father's encounter. It was one of his workers' encounter. So it's just
telephone.
Yes. Like, so we don't know how much of the story is fabricated and how much of the story is true. But at the end of the day, this story got around.
Yes.
So here I go. She's a little lengthy, so please bear with me.
I'm excited.
And I'm going to start off with when it happened. All right. So I am reading from a gentleman. The writer is Beerad on Reddit. That's where I finally found it. Of course, it always goes back to the Reddit. And so here I go with his story. All right. So in the mid-1960s, the writer's dad owned a large roofing product mill. He had teams of men that would cut fallen old-growth cedar left after logging operations, which at the time was around Copalassus Beach. Even several of his cutting crews lived in and around that area. During the summer, his dad's well-trusted foreman, John, was late for work one Monday which was highly unusual. When he arrived, John was visibly disturbed. His dad sat John down in his office, where John explained something destroyed his house over the weekend, where when hearing this, he misunderstood. He thought John said someone broke into his house, and quickly John restated you know what? I don't know. It just destroyed everything in my house completely.
Ugh.
So he can't even explain to John what's happening because he's so...
distraught?
Yes, distraught. Like, you know, like he just experienced something and he has to do this. So now this is the story of the Cowman.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. No. There is no moo in this one. I wish there was. Let me tell you. All right, here I go. John got home from work Friday evening. His youngest son, Tim, who was around 4 at the time, told his dad he saw a cowman walking at the edge of the field that day. He thought the boy meant cowboy. Some of his neighbors were wearing cowboy hats when they were out there in the sun. He asked him if the man was wearing a cowboy hat, and the boy said, "No, Daddy, he was a cowman, furry, stinky, like the cows." He asked his wife if she knew what he was talking about, and she said Tim was playing on the porch that afternoon when he came running in and said the cowman was stuck on the fence. He was very excited, so he went out to see what he was talking about. She said as she opened the door, she was hit by a horrible smell, like wet dogs and garbage. Tim was pointing across the field opposite of their house and said he got loose. She looked where he was pointing and could see that the top strand of the barbed wire bouncing up and down, as if someone had just pulled on it really hard and let it go. She didn't see the cowman and noticed nothing out of the ordinary except for the smell. She told him to come inside to play and rest for the day. She felt uneasy and a little scared. Their older son, Junior, who was 12 at the time, was at a friend's house and walked home a short while later after Tim saw the cowman. He told her somebody had followed him home, walking in the woods off the right side of the road. He never saw who it was and they never left the woods, but he said he had to be a really big man. He would hear large sticks crack, and the footsteps were very heavy. Once he got to the driveway of their house, where the woods stopped at the field, where his brother had his sighting, the footsteps stopped and Junior saw nothing. He was pretty shaken by the event and wanted his dad, John, to go out to the woods and check it out with him. Later that evening, John strapped on his handgun. I love how it says strapped on his handgun, when I think I misunderstood this, because I'm like, you don't strap on a handgun, or do you pack a handgun?
Like a holster.
Oh, a holster?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell I don't know about guns, but I was just like, I'm like thinking of a rifle you strap, not like a handgun you strap. Side note.
Yeah.
So he grabbed his handgun and took his older son, Junior, out to the field to have a look. They first walked to the area where the cowman was supposedly stuck on the fence and walked down the fence line looking at anything. They came upon a large clump of reddish-brown hair tangled up into a wad on the barbed wire. He tried to pull it off, but it was really tangled up, so he pulled out his knife and sewed off the hair from the barbed wire. When he took a really good look at it, it was like almost like a foot-long wad, really coarse and stringy. There appeared to be a little flesh matted into the clump, and the top of the barbed wire pulled loose from one of the posts. So there had to be a lot of strength there. He handed the hair to his son to hold, and they climbed through the fence and walked towards the woods. He said he was looking for any sign of tracks on the ground. So John when he was looking at this, he also stated that he thought the hair looked like almost like a horse or a mane, like the mane or the tail of a horse, because how long it was. So when he was looking for tracks, he wanted to look for a horse. So that's what he's aiming for. The ground was grassy, so he was trying to look for prints as well, like hoof prints or anything like that, tracks he can visibly see while walking from his fence line into the forest. The edge of the woods began, and about 10 feet from the fence line, they entered a small gaming trail area where deer kind of frequent. It was around 8 at night, and in the woods, it was getting kind of fairly dark at this time because it was, summer. It takes a little while for that sun to come down.
Mm-hmm.
They walked for a ways and soon began to smell the rotting garbage, wet dog odor that the mom smelled earlier before. John said he got the feeling that they were being watched. The hair in the back of his neck was standing up. He told his son they should head back before it got dark. The boy didn't argue. As they began walking out, they could hear heavy footsteps off to their left.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
Yes. Think about the sun's going down, you're in the forest, and you hear
huge
footsteps.
Heavy footsteps.
Nope, and nope. They stopped, and the footsteps stopped. They start, and then the footstep starts. So this thing is following them.
It's tracking them.
Yep. They're no longer tracking it.
Yeah.
They walked on towards the clearing, and John whispered to his son to run like hell to the house on the count of 3. Junior nodded, and John whispered 1, 2, 3, and gave his son a big push on the back to get him a running start. Then John spun around and raced off the trail into the opposite direction towards the footsteps with his gun drawn. Off the trail, the underbush was dense and the ferns and bushes, so it wasn't, remember, the clearing's only for the deers. So when the trails go off, they kind of become ghost trails, so the bushes start becoming thick.
Yeah.
Right? And so, just painting a picture here, they're thick.
Thick bushes.
There's thick bushes in there. So he went towards those bushes. He had a hard time making headway because of that. But as he got closer, he could hear it moving away from him, deep into the woods. At this time, he thought it was a vagrant camping out in the woods and possibly scoping the house out to rob them at night. Because remember, his youngest son saw something strange out in the fence line. His oldest son said someone was following him home, and then they went out there and they can hear it. So he's thinking like it's an intruder on the property or in the
scoping him out.
Yeah, exactly. So John is a big man and capable of taking care of himself in most any situation, and he had a large caliber gun, and so he wasn't too worried about confronting this person in the woods. He was a few yards off the trail in that deep bush that we're talking about where he's struggling in when he heard the movement stop just ahead of him. He stopped to look and listen and thought he saw movement by a large tree, like someone was trying to hide there. He leveled his gun and said, "Come out nice and slow, or I swear to God, I'll come back there and shoot you." It was silent for a moment, and he caught the movement out of the corner of his eye and spun around on the right for a better look. He said it looked like a huge bear moving through the bush. He could only see bits of it through the dense ferns, but it was moving quietly away from the trees on 4 legs. It was about 15 feet away from him. At first, he thought it was a bear, and then suddenly he saw a huge, hairy arm with a human-like hand reach out of the bush and grab the small tree. Like his arm is going up and grabbing it for like leverage. The lever croak. Yes, no, sorry. Pull. So his hand for leverage. It happened so fast, it was a blur. But the thing pulled itself upright out of the bush by holding the tree. It stood on 2 legs and turned its upper body to glare at John. It was enormous. He couldn't believe how bulky it was. It was well over 7 feet tall and at least half that big throughout his chest. It was too dark to make out many features, but its eyes seemed to glow a deep red, and he thought he could see teeth, like it was curling its lips back. Like, you know, like when animals do? Yeah, like it's like dominance, like, you better walk away from my area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it stood for just a brief moment and then lunged ahead, pushing back the tree with force. The tree snapped loudly and crashed into the trees around it. So it's like, I don't need you no more, tree. Bye-bye. We're breaking up. Then disappeared into the deep bush with frightening speed, sounding like a bulldozer with no engine sounds. John stood there in shock, his gun temporarily forgotten, and then he realized it was heading towards the house the way his son just went.
Oh, no.
He turned and ran to the trail, hoping to gain ground on it and cut it off before it reached the clearing, all the while hearing the creature trash through the brush on its side. John burst into the clearing and looked frantically for his son. Junior was standing just inside the fence line, waiting for his dad. John screamed at him to run to the house, and then he saw the thing crash out of the woods about 50 feet to his left. It crossed the 10-foot clearing and stepped over the fence line in 2 strides and was running through the field parallel to his son in a matter of seconds. John screamed at his son to run faster and took aim at the creature, but he didn't fire because he was afraid that he would hit his son, so he jumped over the fence and ran in pursuit of them. He could see it angling towards his son, and there was no way his boy would make it to the gate before it cut him off.
Oh my God, that's so terrifying as a parent.
In desperation, he pointed the gun to the ground on his side and fired as he ran, hoping to scare it. Unfortunately, it veered more sharply towards his son, because he was aggravated, and put on an enormous burst of speed. He heard his boy scream as they seemed to collide. He saw the creature dip its shoulder down a little, and suddenly Junior was airborne. He flew up 10 feet and then hit the ground rolling. So this creature A-lined. Then he dipped his shoulder, like his arm down, and he caboosted his son up, and he flew down and then hit the ground.
I'll show you.
Yeah, like you fired your gun. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Exactly.
Yeah.
The creature never paused. It continued to run out an amazing speed in a loop back towards the woods. Once the line of fire was clear, John stopped and squeezed off the remaining 5 rounds at the retreating creature. He was pretty sure all the shots went wild. The creature never made a sound or slowed down and was soon over the fence line and back into the woods. He reached his son and was shaken up but not physically hurt. Junior asked his dad if it was a bear. Apparently the kid was so busy running for the house that he didn't see the creature running after him because he was tunnel vision focused. Like, I need to get to the house. So he didn't see what came up from behind him. He just knew something was behind him. He said something big and black suddenly ran into him, and he felt like a huge paw hit his bottom.
Oh,
yeah,
pet.
exactly. And then he went flying and then fell. So that's what I'm saying. When the creature dipped, like, he literally was scooping him, right? That's a scoop.
Yeah.
He scooped him.
He scooped his little tushies.
Yes.
So here you go.
Yeah, here you go. Your dad pissed me off. I'm going to scoop you away.
Yeah.
John pulled his son to his feet and then ran thoroughly to the gate and into the house, locking the door behind him. They were both out of breath and white as ghosts. His wife was screaming at him, demanding to know what the gunshots were for and if they were all right. Like, this woman has no idea what's going on. This poor woman. Like, all she hears gunshots and her family runs into the house.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
startled.
my God, yeah.
Yeah. When he could catch his breath, he told her to make sure that the back door was locked. He was going to call the sheriff. He went to the phone and began to dial the number, then stopped and wondered, what exactly is he going to say? So unfortunately, like what happens to most people, he hung up the phone, realizing, what would he tell the sheriff? The boogeyman would just chase me out of the woods?
Yeah.
Right? How do you explain that?
I would.
So he told his wife that it was a large animal, possibly a bear. He didn't know how to begin to tell her. Their 4-year-old was right. His cowman was real, and it's more frightening than anything you can imagine. And that's something he just couldn't tell his wife. So he's just like, it's a bear. All right, can't call the sheriff, can't tell my wife, it's a bear. He told them all to keep the doors locked and stay away from the windows. Around 10 o'clock, so just a few hours later from this encounter at night, the boys were in bed and John and his wife sat down to watch the news. They soon heard a loud moaning cry, kind of like a siren. It would stretch out for a long time and then end with a whoop whoop sound. It was coming from the woods opposite of the house. His wife asked, "What the hell is that?" John answered truthfully, looked her dead in the eyes, and said, "That's Tim's Cowman." And that's where we're going to stop the story, because there's so much more to the story, but that's just the beginning of the horrid weekend they had with the Cowman.
Oh my gosh.
So, like what I said, like going back to your recording to this, like every encounter I always hear is like a siren. Like, you know, so like that screeching that person was doing in the recording, like, okay, that could be like the siren call, but then it ends with like they do the whoop whoop talk. So like when I was reading this and I was like, wow, like I think one, he did hit the creature. He says that he thought those shots were wild, but I think because of what's it called? Adrenaline, that creature was on such a high.
It didn't feel it.
It didn't feel it right away, right? Like the shots. I mean, we don't know if it like punctured the skin, snipped the skin, or actually like, you know, did some damage. But I think he did hit the creature. And then now it's like chilling. It's been a few hours later since the encounter, and he's feeling it, and he's pissed. Right? So the poor wife has no idea what's going on. She just knows her kid and her husband come back, white as ghost, out of breath like me. Oh, the story. And like at the end of the day, then she hears that siren and that wail. It's a wail into the whoop whoop. So this creature is pissed, hurt, and territorial.
Very territorial.
It sounds very territorial.
It's like, this is my...
Yeah, because like he's like, why does this fence stop me? Like, why is this fence here? Like, he got caught in the fence. He's like pissed off at that. Then he walks away after he gets caught in the fence, and then he sees their kid coming home. He's like, well, I'm going to follow this bitch home.
Yeah, to see if he's going to come into my territory.
Yeah, so he follows him on the wood line, because it's all staying on the wood line and the fence line. But it only pursues further when it's threatened by John. And then it goes into the clearing and finds the son, and then he swoops him. I just think that's so fun. I know it's sad, because it's like traumatizing.
Yeah, because if that was my kid, I'd flip shit.
Oh yeah, like I can see why John and the child is traumatized, but like he was swooped up. You know, it was like a plaything to him. He was telling John, look at what I can do, because he didn't hurt the child or take the child. He swooped the child. It was a see what I can do.
Well, they love eating children.
Or not, I don't know. Like a lot of children do disappear. Yes, they do. Yes. Yeah. So from the wild hairy man.
Yeah.
But this is the Cowman, and it's just really intense. Like, I love how at the it's the end of right now, but don't worry guys, I will continue the story on a later note. It's a lot, but this is just the beginning, and I love how he finally admits that it's Tim's Cowman, like to his wife. That poor wife, like what's her story?
Right? Like her side. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, there's more. There is so much more, because remember, story started off on Monday morning with John being late, and this is only Friday night coming home. There's so many more incidents.
Oh, he was like tortured all weekend by this thing.
Yeah, that's why he was so like disturbed and distraught when he got to work. He's just like, please save me.
Oh my goodness.
So, like I said, you can find this story on multiple platforms. There is podcasts, and there is YouTubes, and there is so much more around this story. But there's mine. I wanted to share with you, because I just thought when you said, hey, I'm going to do this topic, I started like researching and looking at all many stories, and then I started reading comments, and I want to let you know there's so many comments people talk about the Cowman. There's so many like comments, and I was just like, okay, like what is the Cowman and why is it such a big story? And just that first half, I'm like, I can see why this is a big story, because that one little encounter is a lot for me. Like, that's a lot. That's scary.
It's so scary.
Yeah. Like, that's my worst nightmare. I mean, I don't have kids, and I love my nephews, but, like, if anything happened to any of you guys, I'd be like, oh, bless. Like, oh, no.
Yeah, I'd probably be dumb and be like, I'm going to monkey climb you.
Well, okay, I'll be honest. Like, I think he did everything right, because I know I'm a city girl, but if I lived in the country and I'm used to hunting, like even though your stories, these people are used to going outside. They're used to animals. They're used to all that stuff. And so they're comfortable going at dusk. No, it's not dusk. It's dawn. Sorry. Dawn. They're dawn, dusk, dusk. Yeah, dusk. When's the sun going down? Dusk, right? You can tell we're so educated.
I don't know.
Okay, dawn is when the sun comes up, or is dusk when the sun goes down? Yes, when the sun goes down on my side of town. No.
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah, and so like they're comfortable going outside because I honestly, like, they're brave and they're comfortable. So I think when I was reading it, it was very human nature in my mind, because city girl, like, oh no, like, nope, that sun's going down, I'm standing right here, this is tomorrow morning's adventure. Like, this is not a tonight adventure. So just for me, but just knowing that mindset of them, like, and what their daily is, like, I can totally see, hey son, let's go see what's bothering you before you go to bed. Like, let's put your mind at ease, right? And also, like, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and if like if parents would be like, okay, if there is an intruder, they need to make sure that their family's safe, because it takes a while for cops and ambulances, all that stuff, to get to you. So I could totally see the human nature in this whole story of, like, let's go take this adventure. And even when they start hearing footsteps, like, I love, like, that's my nope nature. Like, nope, I'm out. Like, he did the same thing. He's like, nope, I'm going to make sure my son is safe. You start heading back now. And then he went towards the noise to make sure he didn't go towards his son. So he went to go attack. So everything on his...
he was like...
he was like saying, hey, like, you go this way, I go this way, to make sure his son's safe. So once again, I still believe this is so believable to me, this story, because that's human nature. Like, everything he's doing is he's doing it right. And then the animal nature, that creature, or that whatever it may be, the big wild hairy man, the cowman, whatever it is, also is territorial. It's stalking.
Yeah. Right?
So if it's human, he could have stopped it right then and there. Like, hey man, you can't, like, be on this land and squat. Like, you got to go. However, it's an animal like thing, and it's territorial. It also, the behavior that we're hearing throughout this whole story is stalking. It's prey, right? You're saying eating children. It like, because you want to make sure you get something that's small, simple, and easy, appetizer.
Yep.
And
easy to grab,
and or swoop. So when I was reading this, and I really loved this story, because to me it was just on both sides. If it is true and it's a territorial creature, like in human nature, I found this story so fascinating because I feel it's realistic. I think all the behaviors of people are true and could happen.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
You guys all heard that, right? She agreed with me. That's very rare.
It's not rare.
Well, it's her topic, so she's like, yes, the cowman is true.
Everything you just said. I love that story. Mm-hmm. I really do. It's so interesting, and I can't wait to hear what else happens and how the cowman is taunting.
She has no idea. I did not share my story with her.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's a good story.
It gets creepier. That's why I love it. And everything that happens next is, I feel like, lines up. It just lines up.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else do we have? Like,
so my favorite, 411. Okay. So, but before I dive into, like, the disappearances and the theories that people stay up all night and think about because it's creepy, we need to talk about the man who made Missing 411.
She's obsessed.
I'm obsessed with him. So if you're listening to this, I'm obsessed with you. Whether you believe every word or some of it or none of it, you can't deny that David Paulides changed the conversation around people going missing in the wilderness. David Paulides was a former law enforcement officer turned into investigator and author. Before he ever became a controversial name in the Bigfoot circles or lightning rod for debate over Missing 411, he spent 2 decades, okay guys, in law enforcement. So he has that background. Paulides began his career in 1977 after later transferred to the San Jose Police Department, where he worked in patrol, street crimes, the detective division, and served on the SWAT team. So he has that police background, very investigated behavior, because this is important. Because when people talk about Paulides, they tend to skip over the fact that his background is rooted in procedures, reports, evidence, and documentation. So that's what I love about him, is that when he does his books, and he has, I think, 2 films out now, a Missing 411. But when he does it, it's never about speculation. It's always about facts. He doesn't bring anything. He wants you to think of the speculations, but he's just putting out the facts of everything.
So he's laying down the foundation for your imagination or
your
thought process mindset to take.
And he was a cop. After leaving law enforcement, Paulides didn't immediately jump into missing 411. He went looking for Bigfoot, like all of us. We get fascinated by Bigfoot. Yep, full turn. He found the North American Bigfoot search and began researching sightings, patterns, and folklore tied to Sasquatch across North America. This is where he first started noticing something odd. Certain Bigfoot reports kept overlapping with missing person cases, especially in remote wilderness areas, national parks, and mountain ranges.
Okay.
At first, Paulides wasn't investigating disappearances. He kept running into them. While researching Bigfoot encounters, Paulides repeatedly came across cases where people vanished under strange circumstances. 1. Experienced hikers who disappeared without a trace. 2. Children found miles away from where they went missing. 3. People located in areas already searched, sometimes multiple times. 4. Missing shoes. 5. Sudden weather changes.
Okay.
And 6. Silence, no sounds, no tracks, no explanations.
That's so eerie.
It is. It's
so eerie.
So creepy. And that's why I love it, because it's truth. It's what's really happening. So he started asking the simple questions. Why are these cases never talked about together? Okay. When he tried to get comprehension missing persons data from the national parks, he says he ran into resistance, difficulty obtaining records, inconsistencies, and what he believed was a lack of centralized tracking. Okay, that's even creepier. The frustration became the foundation of Missing 411. Missing 411 is a series of self-published books and documentary films where Paulides compiles missing person cases he believes share common characteristics. He doesn't officially name a single case. Instead, he presents patterns and lets the reader decide. That's part of what makes Missing 411 so controversial. The critics can argue that the cases aren't statistically unusual. Many have conventional explanations.
Yeah.
And the data is selectively presented. Okay?
But it's not.
But the supporters argue that the similarities are too consistent to ignore.
Yes.
Certain details don't line up with normal search and rescue outcomes, and too many questions remain unanswered about these cases.
Yep.
Paulides himself maintains that these cases deserve more scrutiny, not less. And these are some of the cases. I'll read off of them, okay?
Okay.
So,
I'm ready.
Yep.
I'm ready. And by the way, like, she made me, like, was it on YouTube? Or what was
Yes.
it? Yeah, like, I've seen some of them, but I've blurred them all together because they're scary.
I don't know if did I make you watch the child one, or did I make you watch...
I just remember, like, after watching it, I was creeped for a while. Because I like going hiking and walking outside. I didn't want to leave the house.
Well, the problem is I would always go hiking by myself.
She would. I was like, I kept telling her, you're going to die.
Even after watching this, I still would hike by myself.
And she did. Like, we watched it one day together. She's like, come over. Like, we're going to watch this. We watched it. And I was like, cool. And then she's like, okay, tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., I'm going to go hike. Do you want to come with me? Or no, go for a walk. And then she's like, want to come with me? And I was like, 5 a.m. by yourself, out in the middle of nowhere? No. I was like, you just made me watch where people disappeared. Like,
I mean, like, take me.
No, this one, no, this is not the take me one. This is the one, like, he's gonna make, like, he's like, no. Like, I have no words. No.
I'm a good snack.
I'm a good snack.
Okay, so the dentist, salt and pepper my ass. The dentist, Martin Case, a 6-year-old boy who disappeared in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in 1969 while playing hide and seek. The case involved reports of a blood-curdled scream, a witness seeing a large man bear carrying something on his shoulder, and a highly unusual search and law enforcement conduct, including the involvement of Green Berets and the FBI agent who reportedly later committed suicide.
Oh, no.
He was never found.
No.
The John Doe, 3-year-old boy. A young boy found alive a couple hours after disappearing who described being taken into an underground cave by a nice grandmother who he later thought was a robot. He claimed she wanted him to poop on some sticky paper and that sparks came out of her head when she got mad. He also mentioned seeing dusty purses and weapons in the cave.
So a child was taken. I'm just trying to understand the story.
Yeah.
So a child was taken.
But he's 3.
Yeah. So a baby was taken. A toddler was taken. And he was put in a cave in the middle of nowhere where a robot forced him to do what? Eat?
Poop on sticky paper.
Okay. Poop on sticky paper. And then the person who took him was a robot and its head would go on fire
Or sparks.
or sparks.
So, like, when you're a child and you experience, like, trauma, your brain turns it into funky things.
Okay.
And that's, like, called PTSD.
Okay.
So what he saw in his mind will be true, but later down the road when he gets older, he'll wake up to realize and remember maybe hopefully things, or he won't. It's your brain blocks.
So this
out.
wasn't a hairy wild man. This was a hairy wild woman.
I don't know.
So, but he was found to tell the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I just. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to, like, wrap my head around that story. Like, that's, like, very elaborate, even for a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
It's very elaborate.
It's like to make it up. I know.
Mm-hmm. The imagination is very intense there.
Yes.
I mean, it could have happened. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what movie he watched before he got kidnapped.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't say when it was.
Yeah.
Victims found in impossible locations. Okay.
Okay.
Several cases involved individuals found dead in areas that search and rescue teams or even experienced climbers could barely access
Okay.
without specialized equipment.
Okay.
A notable explain in a woman who went missing from a scenic park stop and was found days later at the top of the mountain requiring a helicopter extraction with no plausible way for her to have reached that location alone.
Okay.
The Henry McCabe case, a man whose death involved a highly disturbed final voicemail left for his wife. The audio alleged contained a nasty audio in the background and someone whispering, "Stop it," before he was found dead in an unusual location.
So where was he when this happened?
It doesn't say where he was. It's in his books. If anybody wants to read it, the Henry McCabe case.
So he was just out and about.
These are all in the forest.
Yeah, so he's out and about in the forest,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then he's doing his be healthy, fresh air stuff. And something's happening and he calls his wife. Or did he butt dial his wife?
I don't know. The audio allegedly contained a nasty audio in the background and someone whispering, "Stop it."
So it was a butt dial. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so sad to hear. Because that's just really sad. That's disheartening.
Yeah. Unusual clothing circumcised.
Wow, okay.
Circumstances. In many cases, victims are found with their clothing removed but incorrectly, or occasionally found in clothing that does not belong to them. This detail in particularly prominent in stories involving missing children. I know, it makes me sad because the one that I saw in the video, he was in clothing that wasn't his.
Uh-huh.
When they found him, he was dead. Lack of forensic evidence or signs of exposure. Victims found after days in the wilderness often show no signs of hypothermia, animal predation, or other typical exposure symptoms, which conventional, explanations for survival in harsh conditions.
Okay.
And then the Zygmunt, I can't say his last name, I'm going to butcher it, Adamiki case, a man who disappeared after going to a local shop and was found dead 5 days later on top of a 15-foot coil heap. The cause of death was a heart attack, but he had strange burns on his neck, covered in undefinable saliva,
Okay.
and his clothes were mismatched and incorrectly done up.
What's up with the clothes thing? Because it's like, I've heard this before. I don't understand it.
Maybe they're into some freaky ass shit. And I don't want to say that, but I don't know.
Because people have their clothes on wrong, or they have someone else's clothes on. Like, I just don't understand that.
Maybe they take them to the caves and where all the other dead people have their clothes.
They dress them up like dolls?
Maybe.
Like, I just don't get it.
There's always one in the bunch that's the weirdo, you know?
Well,
Maybe in the Bigfoot community, there's just that one weirdo.
And he's just doing a lot of damage for us to get these stories.
The one
that
They're like, oh, there goes Harry, the one that likes to dress up with weirdo.
like, Dan, can at least do it right? Hey, Harry, that shirt's all backwards.
I know.
That's so sad.
It is so sad.
Sorry, we make light of death. I'm sorry about that, guys.
We're super, super morbid.
Yeah, sorry. Like, it's how we function in life.
Yeah. I know. It's so sad.
It's super sad.
So I'm almost done. Paulides has also supported the research into the Sierra Sounds, okay? A set of audio recordings from the 1970s allegedly capturing unknown vocalizations in the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Okay.
While mainstream science classifies Bigfoot under pseudoscientists or pseudoscience, some analysts, including a retired U.S. Navy cryptograph linguist, claim the recordings show structured language patterns that were not of human origin. No formal science studies confirm this, though, but for Paulides, it's reinforced his beliefs that something unexplained may exist in the wilderness spaces. Are you guys ready for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
And the person that you hear that's closest is the men taunting it. The one that you hear farther, many of them, are the unexplained.
Taunting or mimicking?
Mimicking.
Yeah, because if they're taunting, they're going to die.
Yeah, it's not, well, I feel like it's taunting because he's like, mimicking it. That's taunting.
Okay, so the one we hear up closer is the guys that you just talked about, and the one that's further is what they're mimicking. Okay,
Yes.
Got it.
There's two of them across the creek with big rocks. Back there, just safer birds.
Like the last piece where, like, I heard, because you heard the men in the front, and then they're like going the whoops back, and then there was one that it was the further one. It sounded like a talk. It didn't sound like
he was talking.
It was like a world what? Like it before the whoop that it goes up. It sounded like
they were talking.
Because
there was multiple of them. So if you guys want to hear it in person, it's called the Sierra Sounds. You can look it up on Google or whatever and find it. But it's so fascinating because you can clearly, my audio wasn't that good, but you can clearly hear them talking in a different language.
Yeah, their language, their dialect.
So they are talking to each other, but it sounds like multiple old languages into one.
Okay.
So it's super cool. So it's important to say that clearly David Paulides is a polarizing figure. Okay, he wanted to research Bigfoot, but he wanted to do it right, and not a lot of people tend to do that.
Yeah,
they just go off on random stories like us.
Yeah, very random.
Yeah. His work has been criticized for drawing conclusions without a definitive proof, blending folklore, anecdote, and investigation, leaning into mysterious rather than resolution. But yet, families of missing persons often say his work is the only place where their loved ones' stories have actually been told. The tension between oh my gosh.
I can't help you. I'm worse than you.
I know. The tension between skepticism and
you were not even close to that, but I can't correct you because I'll be worse.
And belief is what missing 411 alive in public conversation. Okay. So whether you see 411 as a warning, my sister did, I didn't, a mystery, or a misinterpretation, David Paulides forced people to look at wilderness disappearances differently. He asked uncomfortable questions, he noticed patterns others dismissed, and he reminded us of the unsettling truth. Nature doesn't always give answers. Sometimes it keeps secrets.
Yeah. It keeps a lot of secrets. So I know when you introduced this to me, I was just thinking, because it's a lot of national parks.
Yes.
A lot of national parks, a lot of stories for those rangers. And a lot of them don't even tell their stories, but when they do, they're creepy. And another big thing I learned from this was like the cave system and then the lost people and like just how it all like overlaps.
Yeah, it's wild because if you pull up the cave system and then pull up the map or the map of the cave system and then pull up the map of the missing persons and then you line it up, it matches. And then it has the missing person has like a trail of what, like 50 miles maybe outside of it of the cave system. And it's wild to think.
Yeah, it's very wild. I just know I used to have a lot of courage and a lot of confidence when I went camping, hiking, and being out in the nature. I was always scared because I'm a scared individual.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, oh my gosh, what's lurking in the shadows? But after watching that, there's so much, like she said, like if you want to
really dive into it,
there's so much.
Good.
He has so much stuff. I actually want to read his books because I didn't know he had books. But I remember watching one, maybe 2 episodes, and I was like, I'm out. Because I'm that person that I just need to be warned once. Like, I just need to be warned once. And I'm just like, nope. I'm like, I'll go places now. I'm like, there's rock formations. Or, there's no one in front of me or behind me. Or, I'm like, I'm going to go back to my car.
And that's kind of why I liked it, because I was the same way. I was fearless, and I would go hiking by myself and kind of mentality. And now I am I'm not worried about other humans. I'm more worried about the unknown.
That's so scary. Like, I'm not worried about that guy over there with a knife in his hand. I'm worried about the wild man behind me. Yeah. The wild hairy man.
The guy with the knife. Have fun.
Oh gosh, no.
What am I gonna do? They say not fight, so like, what are you gonna do?
I know, but yeah. So at the end of the day, wow, like that was a lot to take in.
Yeah. So that's our wrapped up for. Are we doing this as a two-parter?
I don't know what we're gonna do with this, but I know your eyes glistened and shined when we talk about all this stuff. So we'll see what this brings us, because I know we do have to do a second part eventually, because I have the other half of the story I'd love to share with you and see your reaction. So
yeah,
well, there might be many, many more. Is it
cryptids?
Yeah. What's this episode called?
Bigfoot or Yeti.
Or maybe just a hippie. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have more of these because there has to be hippie stories out there.
I know, there is actually.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, she's smiling. I knew it. I knew this was gonna be more. I knew this would be more than one. But just at the end of the day, be safe out there. Don't antagonize anything you're not clear of.
Yes.
Make sure you're not by yourself if you're out in nature, and if you are,
be safe.
Be safe. All right. So basically, same shit, different day with us. So till next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.